Hey guys, it's your pontiff, Paul Pluta, AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III. I'm the method actor who plays Paul Pluta. I'm doing paid review 20A7. 20A7. Before we start this review, let's do a quick wristwatch check. And today I'm wearing my ArchieLuxury. My ArchieLuxury Reverso Grand Date. This is my steel stunner. Okay, guys, let's have a look here. This here is from, we'll see if he wants, he's, okay, Sebastian. Okay, here we go. Hi there, you nasty foul-mouthed fucker. My name is Sebastian. I'm a 36-year-old orthopedic surgeon from Romania. I've been in love with watches ever since I was a young fuck. I spent much of my childhood surrounded by old National Geographic magazines that my folks collected. There I came across commercials of Omega, Rolex, JLC, and Patek. My first love was obviously the man on the moon, the fucking moon watch. Ever since the first grade, I started collecting watches. I started off with shitter Chinese Casio knockoffs, and briefly after came across a manual rind Pole Jolt, Soviet Russian brand. Yep, I've seen those. That my grandfather on my dad's side used to wear. He gave it to me and I felt like a grown-up wearing it wherever I went. My grandpa on my mum's side had an Atlantic, cheap Swiss brand. He seldom wore. He never gave it to me because he's an arsehole. I had my first Swiss watch at 14. It was a quartz Candino shitter, which my folks got me as a present. I've spent my high school collecting cheap old Swiss mechanical shitters made from the Eastern Bloc, Russian stopwatches and pocket watches. Soon after finishing med school, I started collecting Orients and Seikos. I started serious collecting after I made consultant surgeon. The first was the Omega Man on the fucking Moon. The second, a 38mm Zenith El Primero. And the third, a Breitling Chronomat 44 with the B01 movement. I know you're not a fan of it, but I based my purchase on the fact that it was the first watch sporting the B01 caliber. I don't hate that watch. I actually quite like Breitling. I think as a discount diver. You know, well, the Chronomat's not really a diver. Look, it's okay. I don't hate the Chronomat. Don't hate it. I don't hate it. I bought all new from Chrono 24 with moderate discounts. The reason for all being chronographs is that I'm in awe of tool watch design, having spent most of my childhood surrounded by tools and measuring devices. My grandfather on my dad's side was an electrical engineer. I see it as a perfect 3 chrono collection, each one having something different from the other two and also having their own special thing. I mean, I really have a lot of horology here. Vertical and horizontal clutches, column wheel and cam lever activated, automatic and hand wound, display back and close back, screw down pushes, screw down crown and pushes, date and no date, classic and modern movements, inner and outer tachymeter, rotating bezel, COSC certified, hacking seconds, 3 different beat rates, dressy, the El Primero, sporty, the Chronomat, all-rounder, the Speedy. Fuck, I could go on forever. Anyhow, thank you for bearing with me for so long. My question is, where do I go from here? I know you'll say Daytona all the way. But fuck, they're overpriced. What's your opinion on the Sin Navitimer, the Sin 140 or the Breguet Type 20? Or should I go through something like an IWC Mark 18, the Milgauss Explorer 1 or the JLC Reverso and steer away from the chronograph Paradigma. I would like something with a nice solid horological value. The retaining of value is not so important to me. I intend to keep all my watches and have no intention of flipping or swapping. I've sent you $100 US via PayPal. Thank you. Kind regards, Dr. Sebastian. Please stay safe. from COVID-19. If you're ever in Romania, I will buy you a beer or whatever the fuck you'd like to have. Okie dokie. Wow. Thank you indeed there. Sebastian, I think you're on the right path. You've got to understand a few things there. I think honestly, Sebastian, I don't see anything wrong with chronographs. In fact, let me tell you my chronograph story. I started collecting Rolexes in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, and I came to chronographs really late. I got my first Rolex in 1990, Explorer 1 1016, very collectible vintage piece now, but I bought it brand spanking. I got to tell you seriously, chronographs, that is such a good theme. If you love chronographs, why not just collect chronographs? There are many really cool chronographs out there. Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with chronographs. I think they are amazing pieces to have. It's interesting you're in Romania, one of the Soviet bloc countries. I'm not sure how the market is there. Look, Chrono, you're on Chrono, you're buying? Yeah, well, good on you. Good on you. Free enterprise. That's what we like, these free enterprise. My advice to you would be to don't buy and sell, don't wheel and deal. Just as you say, you want to keep your chronographs. I would add slowly. There is absolutely nothing wrong with those watches you've got there. In fact, you should be very, very proud. Any man would be proud to have that. That's a really nice collection. When you say, my question is, where would you go from here? Now, I'd say, honestly, no, you don't have to go Daytona. Daytona is really expensive. I mean, the price of a Daytona, you can have a beautiful collection, especially steel Daytona. I mean, the sweet spot in the Daytonas, I had a two-tone. Two-tone seems to be the sweet spot, in my opinion, but still a lot of money, Look, I would seriously say to you, I would collect iconic chronographs. That's honestly what I think the best thing for you to pursue is. If you love chronographs, just collect chronographs. I mean, there's some people who love divers, collect divers. I've got another friend of mine who really loved travel watches, like travel times or GMT function watches. So he had that as a theme. I got to tell you, I really respect a collection that sticks to a theme. At the moment, I've got 5 Pateks and my Beta, my Reverso. So I'm trying to stick with the Pat. Very fucking expensive. Oh, very, very expensive. I think it's good to stick to a genre. If you really like it, stick to it. Look, there are many good things I would say there. Okay, so what's your opinion on the Sin Navitimer? Hey, the Sin Navitimer, the story goes that when Breitling went bankrupt in the 70s, 80s, from the quartz crisis, Sin bought the rights. They bought the rights. Was it 70s or 80s? I can't remember. Anyhow, they bought the rights. Probably, I think it was early 80s. Anyhow, it's irrelevant that. They bought the rights, and that technically is more of a Navitimer than a Breitling. So, I'm not a big fan of Sin, but I do quite understand that watch. The Breguet Type 20, that's amazing bang per buck, actually. Russians love Breguet. Breguet's very, very popular. That watch is actually very good value on the used market. Brand new, it's expensive. It's like a Daytona, but it plummets. And I think it's a very cool watch. It's not a column wheel chronograph, it's a cams chronograph, but it's got a high-end Lemania movement, which is technically in-house because Swatch Group owns Lemania, and Lemania used to make a lot of stuff for Patek. The IWC, I honestly would say I'd be more inclined to say the Portuguese. I love that watch. Just the numerals, the Arabics on the dial. Schmick O. I gotta say, I would say, if you really like chronographs, stick to chronographs. I think it shows a lot of discipline if you can stick to a genre. Okay, it's very hard to do. Most people would slot something else in there. I must say, I would like to see you add some Tudor. I really like the Tudor Monte Carlo. That's a 70s reissue. They're good value. They're good value. They use a module. It's a module chronograph, same brand, Jacques Dross module that AP uses in their Royal Oak Offshore series. So that's a very expensive way to do chronograph. I also like that. I really do love that orange. You can also get, I'd say the Monte Carlo, go for value. If I were you, if you really like chronographs, I reckon that's a really, really cool thing to collect. I had a friend many years ago. He used to collect two-tone. He was a Rolex, predominantly Rolex. He had the two-tone Bluesy Submariner, a GMT two-tone black, and a Daytona in white. And it was really cool. That was my friend, the piano player. I just thought that was so damn cool. No one was funky, crazy enough just to have three. He loved the two tones. And I thought that was such a cool thing. And I really respect a collection that follows a very special theme. I mean, the joke with mine is five identical Pateks. But I love that genre. You've got to buy what you love, and I'm not a wealthy guy. You're in Romania. I mean, I know you're a surgeon, but things I don't think are as easy as in the West. Let's be honest there, okay? I would say seriously, just add a piece conservatively. My best advice to you in Romania is make sure you got a fucking good safe. Get a fucking good safe so no bastard steals it. Put your papers and the watches you're not wearing in the safe. And that's very important, very important. I would add slowly, just add. I love collections where they got a special theme. And if you try and stick to the rules, I think that's best. So man, there's heaps of chronographs. I would probably get, what would I get? Okay, if I was building a chrono, there's so many good chronographs. The other thing I'd get is a Tag Heuer Caliber 11. That's the Steve McQueen. I reckon that's a fantastic chronograph. I know it uses Solita movement, but it's the Steve McQueen. You know, that's just such a cool fucking chronograph. I would even, if I was doing chronographs, I would even go for the early Seiko chronograph. Now, I'm not saying to buy Seikos, but research the first movement that Seiko used, because it came out in the same time as Zenith and Heuer were releasing. The rumor is it actually came out first, but it wasn't in an international market. It was only in Japan. So I'd probably get an early Seiko chrono. I mean, you can't go wrong. I get a bull head, you know, the Mickey Mouse head. You know, the Seiko did so many. I'm not saying you're going to just go into that, but that's such a great history to have there. And I would try and get chronographs with box paper. You know, just have a nice. You've got to have your own theme. Would I get a Rolex? Look. I honestly believe every man does need a Rolex. They do need. Every man needs a Rolex. I think a Daytona would be. Of course, a Daytona's cool, but they are expensive. You can get so much more. I would probably say to you, you know, you've got to decide which way you want to go there. But I reckon chronographs. This is such a cool hobby to have. I collect chronographs, only chronographs. That lets you go down a few rabbit holes there. I'd explore the Seiko end. I'd also, you know, chronographs. I've had a few myself. just looking back there, I had the Monaco, which I loved. It's a bit big, but I think that was a fucking nice. The Steve McQueen, that was sexy, sexy, sexy. I had the Breguet Type 20, that was fucking sexy. Beautiful, beautiful. I had the Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon. What else? Did I have something else? I think, did I have another chronograph? Did I have anything else? I think I had the three. I had the three, and I sold them to get the Rolex. So I really, you know, out of all those ones there, I really enjoyed the Monaco. That was fucking, it's just cool. It's just such a cool watch. I really fucking missed that. That was a cool chronograph. I mean, it wasn't pretentious or over the top like so many brands are, okay, but I really did enjoy it. I must admit, in my chrono days there, because I had three chronos, and then I got the Rolex Daytona. I enjoyed them. I did enjoy them. Patek, it's like Patek. They're fucking expensive for a Patek chronograph. Patek chronographs, ooh, nasty, eye-watering, absolutely eye-watering. But I don't have. I think it's a great way to. Nothing wrong with chronographs. You've got to buy this hobby. You've got to buy what you love and like. There's no point buying things that I like. You got to buy things that you like, and I think you got a great foundation there already. Oh, the other one I would definitely say is what I would love to get. What floats my boat a bit is the Speedmaster Mark II, because it's a reissue. And you can get it with it's got a column wheel movement, and secondhand, they're actually not bad buy. They're a beautiful watch. I got to tell you, I prefer the reissue to the original, because the thing is, the vintage ones, they can be a bit delicate and temperamental, whereas the reissue, they just work and they're perfect. You know, they're kind of, I like nice, blingy, usable things. That's kind of my thing. But chronographs, that's a great way to go. There is nothing ever wrong with collecting chronographs. I think that's cool. I'd get a little bit of Seiko, because Seiko was such a important maker in the chronographs. And the other thing is too, I would you've got manual wind and you've got automatic. What do I prefer in chronographs? Look, I gotta say, I love the Speedmaster, the Man on the Moon, manual wind. It just, you got that relationship with your watch. It's very, very cool. So definitely, I'd keep going chronographs, man. There's nothing wrong with chronographs. I mean, if that is what you like, you love chronographs, stick to it. I think that's. I've loved chronographs. I really, really have. I love my chronographs. They're so useful. I think a chronograph is really useful. The problem is they're fucking expensive in Patek. I mean, I like, that's kind of a grail to have a Patek chronograph. That's what I'd love to have, but so expensive. And the Daytona. What did I think of my? I actually love my Daytona. I had the two-tone. I think that they're good bang per buck. Never say never. You always got to have something to aim for. Like me, I would love to. My grail is to have a chronograph Patek. That's what I'd love. Okay. Now I may not achieve it. It just may not be possible. But you always got to have something that, yes, I'd love one. You never know your luck. And well, look. If I don't get a Patek chronograph, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really matter. But if I won the lotto, or I got a big inheritance, or a viewer out there who's very rich donated me one, or said, "What do you want? Well, a 5170 Patek would be the one." But you gotta enjoy what. It's got to make you happy. That's the important. That's all that matters. So there we go. Thank you so much for the paid review. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And hey, keep watching the ArchieLuxury channel. Okay, guys, that wraps that up. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't be afraid to put some nasty comments. And guys, man cannot live on Google Ads alone. Paid reviews is what pays the bills. Coronavirus, everything is fucked in the world. This is what keeps the wolf from the door. So hey, that's very cool to have a paid review done. I really appreciate it. I'm Paul Pluta. Tell me what you guys think of that. Paid reviews keep me full-time. $50 US, and if you're struggling and things are a bit shit, just make it 25. I love you. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Mark Goldberg for ArchieLuxury AC3, the Pontiff, Satan Deville. I want to sincerely thank you for having sat through this video because I know it was awful, but you know what? You do it for the greater good of humanity. Thank you so much. Now, a couple of quick pieces of homework. Now that you've watched this video, I would like you to hit thumbs up. If you must, hit thumbs down, but if you'd hit thumbs up, I would especially appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a really nasty comment and tell him how awful this content was, but most importantly of all, the entire reason that I am linking up with ArchieLuxury in the first place. I am a published author. Let Dogs Be Dogs, available in bookstores, Amazon, and electronically somewhere near you. Remember, ArchieLuxury, he's not just a figment of your imagination.